Have you ever been looking at Fellas Is It Gay memes and thought, somebody needs to turn that into a series? If so, may I introduce you to Loving You from the Football Sidelines, a vertical drama so full of internalized homophobia, you'll need to watch Brokeback Mountain as a palate cleanser. Meet Brian, an adorable 20-something who's in his early 40s. He's been madly in love with Terry since college, even though Terry swears he's not gay. Brian tries to quit his job as Terry's soccer manager, but immediately gets dragged back into his life when Terry rescues him from a sex party gone wrong. As Brian wipes the smuckers off his back, Terry gaslights him like the man-child that he is.
Really cute when you're shy. If only you were a woman.
Brian gets reassigned to manage Henry, the third vertex on this love triangle, who clearly takes his acting cues from 90s Disney villains.
You can't run forever, darling. Until next time.
Realizing he needs to up his game, Terry sucks Brian's in the locker room, where anyone can walk in. Brian sees through this, of course, but agrees to be Terry's dirty secret, like his butt pirate forefathers. Henry catches them sneaking around and tells Brian,
"If you don't ditch that hammerhead shark, I'll post this on Google Video."
And shows him a recording of them bashing their sealed mouths together. Brian breaks things off with Terry, who retaliates by getting engaged to Kelly, an actress who looks like if Miss Piggy morphed into a human. The two of them stage a photo shoot on the soccer field, where she has to keep a vice grip on his arm to stop her stilettos from sinking into the turf. Depressed and lonely, Brian reluctantly agrees to a date with Henry, which nearly ends with a non-consensual game of cornhole. Terry shows up out of nowhere and tries to break Henry's face. He takes Brian back to his place to throw up in front of this wall made out of cheese. At the wedding, Brian shows up at the last possible second to say, "Enjoy the closet, you lose my number," and leaves a new man. The end. Just kidding, this is Drama Box. Nobody makes sound choices for their mental health here. Terry disappoints all 6 of the prostitutes in attendance by calling off the wedding so he can find Brian. He finally drops the straight bro routine and asks Brian to marry him in front of the whole world on live stream. They share a tender kiss in front of this fake-ass sunset, and we're finally free. The end. This is Horn Dog, a millionaire millennial whose only aspiration in life is to boink every twink he encounters. He recently married this guy, a timid Gen Z pencil pusher with the personality of dry toast.
I can accept being fired, but you must pay me severance.
The pair are complete strangers, marrying solely to appease their grandmothers. Horn Dog dips immediately after the wedding, only to show up 1 year later as Dry Toast's new boss. Since Horn Dog was wearing sunglasses at the wedding, they don't recognize each other. Things get creepy fast when Horn Dog asks his new employee this question after knowing him for 81 seconds.
I just wanted to confirm that you're a gay man like me.
Dry Toast isn't feeling it. Rather than accept the lack of consent like a rational human, Horn Dog doubles down and tries to buy his way into Dry Toast's pants. But since they think they're already married to other dudes, DT punches HD in the gonads. Now HD triples down, probably because DT's skin shines like Edward Cullen, and he wears a rich shade of berry lipstick. Meanwhile, HD's lawyer keeps trying to arrange a meeting with DT to push the divorce through, but wacky misadventures keep stopping them.
We've got to take the next flight for a business trip.
DT gets sloshed one night and spills his guts, and then he opens up to HD. You see, his last boss was a bisexual slimeball who lied about having a wife. DT really does have feelings for HD, but he isn't ready to put his heart on the line just yet. Unfortunately, HD's conniving mother, a pivotal cog in this homosexual crap factory, tells DT to stay away from her son because she wants him to marry Waylon Flowers' grandson.
Oh, madam! Madam, say something!
This pushes them together at HD's birthday party, where DT says, "You think this lipstick is nice, do you? Where do you see the shade on my stink hole?" They get interrupted by HD's mom, who tries to have a conversation while HD is actively inside of DT. In a last-ditch effort to break them up, Waylon Flowers' grandson plays a fake recording of HD saying this was all a game and he's moving on. DT believes it without verification because he's a dunderhead. He leaves HD a heartbroken mess and starts a new life. The end. Oh, come on. Of course that's not how it ends. When the two of them show up to finalize the divorce, everything comes out. HD takes off his sunglasses and DT realizes he's Superman, his husband. They share a kiss devoid of chemistry and we're finally free. The Say hello to Miles. This short king and medical student just landed an internship at a major corporation. Not surprising, given that he's the 84th reincarnation of Queen Nefertiti. His happiness is cut short when he discovers that his girlfriend Amber, a collector of 2000s jewelry from Claire's, is cheating on him with this douchey bro.
Thanks, today's my arm day.
Miles one-ups her by closing his eyes and kissing the very next person he sees, who just so happens to be Hunter Everett, a giant redwood who's stuck in slow motion.
I hate being lied to.
Hunter is not amused. Miles shows up for his first day of work, only to discover that Hunter is his new boss. He accidentally grabs Hunter by the wang boodle, which goes about as well as you'd expect.
Help! I'm tied to this very expensive lamp with my boss's belt! Please, help me!
The two of them agree to a détente and try to move forward. That's when we meet Kate, Miles' over-the-top gold digger psychopath bully who violently jerks her body around like an epileptic. Kate wants to hold amorous congress with Hunter at any cost and blackmails Miles into helping her. Kate convinces him to give Hunter a salad laced with Rohypnol. Or is it ketamine? I can't remember the difference. But Miles trips on nothing and spills dressing all over them. Hashtag relatable AF. Even though they constantly remind us of their heterosexuality.
I'm not gay.
I don't like men.
I'm not gay.
I don't like men.
I'm not gay!
I'm not even gay.
I'm not gay.
I'm not gay.
I'm not gay.
I'm not into dudes.
Why does everybody think I'm gay?
They're both starting to fall for each other. The sparks truly fly one night when Miles goes to buy birthday cupcakes for Hunter, but gets ambushed by two geriatric thugs. He tries to fight back, telling them, "Leave my moobs alone!" But he has to get rescued by Hunter. At this point, they're madly in love with each other. But Miles keeps pulling away for unclear reasons. Enter Tammy, a rival CEO and store brand Laura Ingram. Tammy decides she wants to ride Miles' disco stick whether he likes it or not. Hunter bursts in just before the climax.
Who said you could touch what's mine?
At last, he convinces Miles to be his boyfriend. He does the nasty to him on the same bed where Miles just got and we're finally free. Just kidding. They're filming the sequel as we speak, so stay tuned! Meet Augusto Castro, a cutie pie who sleeps on hard plastic rollers every night. His sister is supposed to marry a mob boss thanks to an archaic contract, but Augusto finds a flaw.
Pietro has to marry a child of the Castro family. Doesn't have to be you.
Now meet Pietro, the unhinged, sociopathic, monstrous, psychotic, and manipulative leader of the crime family, which is never given a name. Instead of balking at the idea of marrying Augusto, Pietro takes him up on his offer, shocking everyone. Augusto is looked down upon by the cartoonishly patriarchal mafia, so Pietro's father Don enters him in his Falconer program to gain some respect. For the first part of the program, Augusto beats the shit out of Nicolas Maduro's stunt double in front of a small crowd of guys, and one lady who's dressed like she's going to a Taylor Swift concert. The marriage gets off to a rocky start, with Pietro demanding that Augusto sexually submit to him.
Well, I'm just not used to this. You will be.
Getting back to the Falconer program, Don sends Augusto to college to get a master's degree in finance, which he accomplishes in less than 48 hours and attains his second medal. He's even starting to develop genuine feelings for Pietro. And who can blame him? The man is so drop-dead gorgeous that Auntie gets a wide on every time she peeps those perfectly sculpted cheekbones. One day, he hears tell that Augusto has been kidnapped. When he shows up to the abandoned church, the culprit turns out to be his ex-lover, Miguel, the boss of a rival crime family who's about as intimidating as a fruit fly.
Asshole!
Miguel drops a bombshell on Augusto, informing him that Pietro was the one who had that contract changed over a decade ago. Pietro's been head over heels in love with Augusto since they were tater tots and greige button-ups. For some reason, this shocks Augusto, even though it was blatantly telegraphed at every turn.
Could no longer marry without the boss's permission.
The only thing I care about is you giving your body and soul to me.
So this was all part of your plan?
Plan? Wasn't the wedding an impromptu decision?
Has it never occurred to you that I love you for real?
What a tool. He gets his revenge on Pietro and leaves the country. The end. Nah, I'm just messing with you. Augusto puts a bullet in Miguel's head and happily continues his marriage to Pietro. Not sure why. I'm guessing it's either Stockholm Syndrome or a damaged parietal lobe. Augusto is given the final medal, thus completing the Falconer program. We don't care that you're a couple of culatoni. Come give us a hand with the NBA. Pietro gives Augusto a thorough dental exam and we're finally free. The end. See this hunky guy with too much white pencil on his waterline? He's a secret agent investigating CryptoLink, a Bitcoin trading company that's been in the same family for generations. The heir to CryptoLink is this spoiled kid, who looks like a human version of Toad from the Super Mario franchise. Toad's father, a certifiable DILF, wants to secure the company's future by marrying him off to a senator's cunt-waffled daughter.
You still haven't changed. Still acting like a pussy-ass sissy.
Such a joyful person. 006.5 tries to pose as an executive, but Toad bribes him into getting married to avoid the political marriage with Bathsheba. When Dilf finds out that Toad and 006.5 got hitched, he gets stark raving mad. With nowhere else to go, Toad moves in with 006.5, unaware of his true identity. Dilf of the Year gets arrested thanks to the senator's connections, and Toad resolves to find out what happened. He gets so wrapped up with research that he forgets to eat, causing 006.5 to shove an unsolicited corn dog in his mouth. There's a legitimate spark between them, made abundantly clear by the howling wind that follows them around. Toad roofies 006.5 so he can infiltrate a strip club with ties to the senator. The club owner grows suspicious of his subpar dance moves, but thankfully his secret agent husband comes to the rescue. Once they're alone, 006.5 decides it's time to explore Toad's cloaca, and the consent is implied, but not explicit.
Oh. Wait.
Can't wait.
Parched from the ill-gotten coitus, 006.5 chugs a mojito loaded with ketamine and passes out. That's right, Gades and Lentilman. 2 poisonings in one motherfucking day. Toad gets kidnapped and taken to the senator's sex island, where he overhears Bathsheba telling her dad that 006.5 is a secret agent. He materializes on the island, but is given a frosty reception by Toad. What do you want from me? Who are you, really? After a 27-second conversation, they form a united front. Bathsheba's dad has been funneling his shady dealings through CryptoLink and wants full control of the company. During the final shootout, the senator captures Toad, but luckily gets shot and killed by 006.5. He gets reunited with Dilferoni and all is forgiven. The power of trauma bonding locks our heroes together for eternity, and we're finally free. Just kidding! They made a second season of this drivel, so stay tuned! Do you guys remember Toad?
Here we go!
Well, he's daft enough to try to make the marriage to his secret agent husband work. They're even planning a proper wedding ceremony. Only trouble is, 008 1/4 is nowhere to be found because his covert missions keep him away for months at a time. One day, he finally graces Toad with his presence, startling him into tripping over this orangutan rug. Dilftopus isn't thrilled about the wedding, neither is Toad's grandpa.
Two men getting married?
Like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
With tensions running high, Toad has a fever dream that he and 008 1/4 are ancient Chinese lovers. Weird choice. Toad wakes up to discover that his husband has once again disappeared and, oddly enough, so has half of CryptoLink's stock. Dilfernutter is quick to point fingers.
Showed up, disappeared, and then this happened.
Toad puts the incident on the back burner so he can attend a fancy gala in New York. He spots 008 1/4 dancing with a woman and assumes he's cheating. 008 1/4 tries to quell Toad's suspicions, but isn't permitted to reveal very much.
I can't explain everything right now. I just need you to trust me.
But Toad isn't buying it. He breaks off the engagement and boards a plane to Seattle. Unbeknownst to him, Bathsheba has broken out of prison and has a whole crapload of shit planned for them. She has Toad's water spiked and sends a couple of henchmen. Luckily, 008 1/4 never stops stalking his husband and saves the day by moving him to a different plane and flying him home to LA. Although if you think about it, it's pretty messed up that he carried his unconscious body to a separate aircraft and placed him in the exact same seat, thus ensuring that he'd wake up confused and ultimately grateful to him for saving the day. Even though they know Bathsheba is out to get them, our heroes go on a date to the carnival, where 008 1/4 proceeds to win every single prize.
Blow up your pants.
They don't get to have fun for long, as Toad gets dragged away by Barney the dinosaur's evil cousins. He comes to in the basement of an Olive Garden, where Bathsheba tries to get him to sign CryptoLink over to her. Obviously, 008 1/4 isn't far behind. This leads to a drawn-out standoff, which Bathsheba ends by blowing up the Olive Garden, with 008 1/4 still inside. The end. Just kidding. 008 1/4 faked his death so he could leave the secret agent life behind. Toad is elated and they finally have their proper wedding. And we're finally free. The end. This is Sebastian Romano, leader of the Brooklyn Mafia and owner of some dangerously sharp cheekbones. He's currently running from an assassin, which explains why he's leaking tomato soup.
Covered full of Campbell's.
He stumbles into the hotel room of Gabriel Castillo, a young restaurateur with big brown puppy dog eyes. Seb yeets Gabe into the closet, thinking the assassin is on his tail, but the commotion is actually Gabe's fiancée Isabella and his stepbrother Chad, who are about to fornicate on his bed on their wedding day. You can't make this stuff up. Wait. Isabella tries to put the blame on Gabe, and in the process wraps up the series.
You're gay and still got engaged to me.
I wish that was the end, but we've been through this before. There's still 68 episodes left of this dreck. Isabella pushes Gabe into the pool before he can call off the wedding, to which he says, "I'm afraid of water!" This script almost makes too much sense. Luckily, Seb takes a break from his murderous escapades to fish Gabe out of the pool. Gabe later asks Seb to marry him, but only so he can get his inheritance. No homo.
Sure, Jan.
This doesn't go over well with his family, leading his stepmom to kick him out.
Go, and don't let me see your mangy hide around here again.
Gabe moves in with Seb and slowly starts to fall in love with him for serious. Unfortunately, Gabe hates the Mafia because they killed his mother a few years back. Seb does a half-assed job of concealing his true identity, but since Gabe is a dimwit, he gets away with it for a while. Chad gets bored with Isabella and her Charo-inspired hairdos, so he sets his sights on Seb. Chad spills the beans that Seb is in fact the notorious mobster of Brooklyn, but also doctors a video to make it seem like Seb his mom. Seb admits to being a gangster, but denies involvement with the accident. Claro que no lo hice. Tengo morales a veces. After Gabe storms out, Chad nabs Seb and takes him to an abandoned warehouse, which is probably riddled with asbestos. Just as Chad's about to force himself on Seb, Gabe bursts through the AstroTurf doors and gives him a sissy slap. After rubbing both of his brain cells together, Gabe dug up evidence that Chad was the one who his mom, not Seb. Chad is then taken to prison, leaving Gabe and Seb to consummate their marriage. And we're finally free. The end. Did you like sneak me in your closet so much that you hoped there was a second season? Neither did I, but here we are. Gabrielle and Sebastian are happily settled in their marriage, so obviously disaster is about to strike. Seb hears a rumor that his mom has been spotted in Mexico. Seeing as he thought she was he's naturally intrigued and travels to Culiacan. This turns out to be a trap laid by Seb's uncle Antonio, an old geezer with skin the texture of a golden raisin. Meanwhile, Gabe suffers a concussion in Central Park and is found by Mafia socialite Serena, a store brand Ariana Grande who dresses like she's dating Tony Montana. Instead of taking Gabe to the hospital to have his head checked out, she brings him to church and marries him. Seb is beside himself at first, but thankfully his assistant Henry gives him the 411.
He's got amnesia.
Serena only talked Gabe into marrying her by telling him she was pregnant, with the intention of seducing him ASAP to legitimize her lie. She hires Seb to be Gabe's bodyguard, unaware of his real identity. Now they're all living in Serena's house, which I'm pretty sure was decorated by Francisco Scaramanga.
This way was fun.
She tries in vain to copulate with Gabe, but he runs for the hills every time she goes near him. Let's make a roast beef sandwich. A rare one. Ew. All this running away keeps drawing Gabe back to Seb in a lazy regurgitation of the first season.
Can I call you Seb?
Can I call you Seb?
They even used the old kissing him to shut him up routine, but this time with a horrifying Picasso statuette glowering down from the rafters. You'd think Serena would be livid, but she's too busy shacking up with Henry to notice. Just as Sebriel is professing their love for the umpteenth time, Antonio shoots Seb in the shoulder, triggering Gabe's memory. Before he can unalive Gabe, he gets clobbered by Seb's mom Catalina, who actually didn't die decades ago and has been hiding in plain sight as Gabe's chef the whole time. Seb gets reunited with his mom, Antonio goes to prison, and we're finally...
Serena's gone. Says she doesn't want to be a mom yet. I'll be right back.
Are you f***ing kidding me?
I need a drink.